starring Lee Marvin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cy Mitchell coming to you from Danny Herod's Music Tent, where for the past 8 great weeks, the feature attraction has been the Pipers, Dick and Dolly, singing their big record hit, A Lady Sings the Blues.
True love is all a hoax for simple-minded folks. Those love and marriage jokes, they're just an illusion. It's nothing I can use. That's why a saddened lady sings the blues. A man will deal you double, then burst your bubble, and when there's trouble, you're dropped like a glove. Oh, won't somebody find me the love I've been dreaming of? My heart's beyond repair, so bye-bye love affair. You're really just a snare and a delusion. Starry-eyed was I. There's nothing else that I can lose. Now time is passing by me, and no one wants to try me. That's why a lady sings the blues. The blues.
The floor show's just ended. For the next hour, I'll be here spinning the wax for all you night people. Oh, and don't forget tomorrow night, a new story for you on racketeering in the music world.
You got a request, Danny?
Yeah. What's all this jazz about tomorrow night?
Why?
Maybe I won't like it.
Neither will the racketeers. Where does that put you?
Look, I run this joint, Si. I got a right to know what's going on.
You'll know. Just tune in tomorrow night, same time, same place.
All I want to know is what good is it going to do?
Look, I'm the one on the firing line, Dickie. You just pass the ammunition.
It doesn't matter whether Piper knows anything, Grace.
I just got a flash. Cy Mitchell isn't going to say anything tomorrow night. He can't. He's got a split lip.
See you at your place right after the show?
Honey, let's go home. My head's about to pop.
Yeah, wait a minute, Si. Listen, honey, why don't you go home with Julie, huh? I want to talk to Si about something. He'll drop me off after the show.
Dick, please.
Honey, honest, I won't touch a drop. We just have to talk.
Come up for coffee, Si.
Sure, why not?
Cy Mitchell had slanted his record show for the night people. When one of them came out of the shadows and cut him down, I was assigned to the case. My name is Frank Ballinger, Detective Lieutenant, M Squad, a special detail of the Chicago Police. The last person known to have seen Mitchell alive was Danny Herod, manager of a night spot called the Music Tent.
He went out of here a little after 3, just like every night.
Was he alone?
Till he got out to the parking lot. That's where they usually met him.
That's where who usually met him?
Women. He had them strung out behind him. And not just the canaries who wanted him to push a record. Guy had something, I guess.
Well, that's the way you got it figured, Danny, that some husband knocked him off?
You asked me, I told you. You take it from there. That's what the city pays you for.
Well, I've been waiting for you to tell me about the big expose story that was supposed to be on tonight.
Oh, that?
Yo, that. Who was he gonna blast?
I have no idea. Even if he would have told me, I didn't want to know. We had a contract. It gave him the right to shoot off his mouth, protected us from any liability. That's the way we kept it.
You know, Danny, you're a man of great foresight. Who's the gal?
Name's Julie Farrow, Cy Mitchell's secretary. Well, cops have been through all that stuff, so told her to get rid of it.
Don't forget to send flowers. Miss Farrell, I'm Lieutenant Ballinger.
I already told the other detective. I don't know what he was going to say tonight.
Well, I always understood that a good secretary was a man's right arm.
Cy Mitchell was left-handed.
Then just what were your duties around here?
I made out the schedule, answered the mail, and sobered him up.
No dictation?
No.
How long did you work for Mitchell?
3 years, 4 months, and 8 days.
It's 8 days. Seems to me that you have a pretty good idea what your boss was up to, even if he was left-handed in that time.
Would a guess do you any good?
Well, let's try one.
The Pipers.
Who?
Oh, Dick and Dolly, they sing here.
Well, what were they to say?
He went to meet them every night right after the show.
Couldn't that just be a social call?
Dolly? No. She isn't his type. I think he was getting a story from them, but that's only a guess.
Well, you must have had a peg to hang it on.
Cy was shot right out in front of their apartment.
I spent the day questioning Cy Mitchell's associates, then called Julie and had her meet me at Cy's apartment. I wanted to check his personal effects. Your every word is like music that falls like soft spring rain upon my loving ear. Good night for now. Wow. What did this guy have?
Charm, I guess.
I heard he was a chaser.
Oh. No, Lieutenant, it was the other way around. He was catnip.
And they were the cats who just couldn't keep away from him, huh?
I know he was brassy, but he had a lot of nerve, too. It would have been enough just to play the records. He didn't have to go off on crusades.
Then why did he?
I don't know. Some drive inside of him. He used to tell me, it's not enough just knowing right from wrong. You've got to do something about it.
He was right.
And he's dead.
Well, I guess that about does it. There's nothing here. Maybe those notes were too hot that he hit him, or else he never got a chance to put them down in script.
I did find something.
Oh, what's that?
I'll show you.
Hey, 2 copies of A Lady Sings the Blues. They look identical to you?
Identical. But why hide them?
It stood to reason that if Mitchell thought the 2 copies of the Piper's record were important enough to hide, they must have something to do with his promised expose of a racket in the music business. Now I had to find out what. The Pipers, Dick and Dolly, had been in show business a long time, working the small clubs and making a few records that never paid off. Then 3 months ago, they hit big with a recording of their tune, A Lady Sings the Blues. They were booked into the music tent, and that's where they met Cy Mitchell.
I'll tell you what our business with Cy was, Lieutenant. Very simple. He was a friend. We had a record, and he was plugging it.
That's how hits are made, Lieutenant. You sort of help the public decide what they want to hear.
A Lady Sings the Blues is in the top 10. Cy was trying to keep it there.
Did he have a piece of it?
No, he did not. If you think he was getting a payoff, you're dead wrong. He never took a dime from us. And we didn't give him any presents either.
Just a friendly gesture, huh?
Now, you get off that line right quick, mister. You make any cracks about my wife, and I'm like...
Don't get so tough, baby. I mean, you'll make the lieutenant think that you're jealous. Thanks for the compliment, but, well, it's a couple of years too late. Cy lived in a kind of tropical climate where women are old at 25.
Well, there's other kinds of payoffs.
He was a friend.
Well, what did you talk about?
We just yacked. Nothing important.
It was important enough to get him killed.
What do you want us to do, join him? Look, get off our backs, Lieutenant. We got nothing to say to you. I gotta have a drink.
No, Dick, please, wait.
One isn't gonna hurt me.
Honey, it'll only get you started. started talking. I mean, you know how you are. Besides, if you want a drink, I'm sure Lieutenant Ballinger will buy you one.
It can wait.
Look, Piper, I'm going to tell you something for your own good. You've got the exact same information that Mitchell ended up on a slab for knowing. Now, if you're covering up thinking you're protecting yourself...
I'm not covering up. I don't know anything. Now, why don't you do us a favor, huh, Lieutenant, please? Leave us alone. That's all. Just leave us alone.
Okay, but how long? How long before I'll be back here investigating your murder?
Oh, I gotta get out of here.
Dick, please, wait a minute.
I can't stand anymore.
Dick, we're on in 5 minutes, honey.
Don't worry, I'm just gonna get some air.
Lieutenant, please, don't be too rough on him.
Mrs. Piper, I don't mean to kick a man when he's down, but maybe if I push him hard enough, you'll tell me what I've got to know.
Maybe. Maybe not. You know, he wasn't always like this. 10 years ago, he would have taken anybody on. He had talent and ambition and the absolute conviction that nothing could keep him from the big time.
Well, you were there, too.
Oh, sure, but well, with me it was different. I could bend with the wind. The leaves blew off, and the next season I'd bloom again. But Dick, each year he just kept getting more and more defeated. And then, when his big dream started to bust, well, I guess he just had to go to something else, that's all. He's on the wagon now, you know. He's been on it for the last 3 years.
AA?
Mm-hmm. Alcoholics Anonymous. They come day or night. They help.
Well, what does he need it for now? You've got a hit record.
Sure, we got a big hit. It's on the top 10. Every jukebox in the country. You can turn the radio on, hear it any time. Oh, the record is selling all right, but... well, we're not making any money.
Well, what is it, piracy? I mean, somebody bootlegging the record?
Yes, but I don't know who.
Your husband knows, doesn't he?
No. No, Dick hasn't known anything since... well, since 3:30 yesterday morning.
You still here?
I was just leaving. Mrs. Piper?
What'd you tell him?
Nothing, honey. Except how much I love you. Dick, now don't let this get you down. I mean, Cy gambled and he lost. Thank goodness you weren't there when the shooting started.
Listen, I gotta tell you something.
Yes?
I lied to you.
What?
I wasn't in the hallway. I was right there in the car. I saw the man that killed Cy.
Oh, Dick. Oh, no. Baby.
I see. Well, thanks, Danny. Well, I suppose so. It's getting a little out of hand. Mm-hmm. I'll let you know. You meathead.
What's wrong now?
I thought you said that disc jerk was alone when you tapped him.
Well, he was.
Except for little Dickie Piper, who got a good long look at that beautiful profile of yours. And if he decides to sing, you'll burn.
He won't sing. There were still some questions I wanted the Pipers to answer, especially about the 2 copies of their record Cy Mitchell had hidden. I drove to their apartment, but they weren't home from the club yet. I decided to wait. Get an ambulance. You know him?
No. I never saw him before.
It was Al, all right.
Well, we got a new torpedo. Ralph's just as handy with a rod.
Al Goodrich and his brother Ralph. There's a pair for you. Strong arms, suspicion of murder.
Excuse me, Captain. Yeah, what do you got?
Report on the records. One's a forgery.
Why would anybody want to forge a phonograph record?
For money. You can make a big, fast profit pirating records. Sure, you catch a record on its way up, and you make a tape of the original high-fidelity recording. Cut your own master, and release the bootleg prints. And then you pay no royalties to the artists or the composers, and the profits are all yours.
Well, how can you tell the difference between a legit record and a forgery?
Only an expert can. Then, if you're lucky, you find out where they're being made. But then the artist and the record company are still nowhere. Big hits are short-lived. By the time you catch the bootlegger, there's nothing left to salvage.
Can you find out what materials went into this?
I can try, but I might need a day or two.
All right, you've got it. If he doesn't come up with a lead, what else have you got?
No, we still have Dick Piper.
Why haven't we gotten the same story he told the disc jockey?
Because he's scared.
Look, we can give him all the protection he needs.
What he needs, we can't give him. It took him 10 years to get this scared.
Lieutenant, couldn't you come back after the show?
Dick can tell me everything I've got to know in about 2 minutes.
I can tell you everything you gotta know in one word. Nothing.
And that just about sums up the royalties you're going to get for A Lady Sings the Blues, too, doesn't it?
We're doing all right.
Yeah? How much money have you lost since the record was stolen?
Look, Ballinger, this happens every day. 17 out of the top 40 songs are bootlegged. What do you want me to do, change the world?
You can try.
Cy Mitchell tried. And he's over there in the morgue with a tag on his toe. Now, who's better off? Tell me that, Lieutenant. Who's better off?
Whatever happened to that big dream of yours?
There'll be other hits.
Yeah, and how many years?
Lieutenant, please.
No, wait, he's got to face it. Either now or some night when he's all alone. You look back across your lifetime and realize that you've wasted half of it. Then you'll take a long look at the next 20 years, and that'll be the end. Piper, I hope you got a lot of insurance, because the money you can get from the royalties of The Lady Sings the Blues isn't going to keep her long.
I'm trying to protect her. I'm scared for Dolly.
Why don't you let her talk for herself?
Lieutenant, my husband does all the talking for this act.
Yeah. And that's what's wrong with it.
Honey, wait. I couldn't do anything else. It would have killed him.
You remember him as he used to be.
I know. But there's a little left of him. Not very much. But every now and then. Well, Lieutenant, what do you do when you've loved a guy for 12 years?
Try for another 12.
Oh, Dick. Why couldn't you have waited?
They robbed us, Dolly. Everything we worked so hard for.
It's all right, baby.
No, Ballinger knew. He cut me up pretty good, but he was right. I got no guts.
Do you think I want you dead like Cy Mitchell?
Oh, they didn't scare Cy. They killed him, but they didn't scare him. And I know everything Cy knew. Maybe they think I don't know about that crummy garage, huh? They'll find out.
Dick, why don't you go to the police?
No, that's too easy. I'd just be backing away from a fight again. I gotta do this myself. Old Dickie Piper's gonna show him.
I spent the next hour hitting my contacts for a line on Al Goodrich, but I came up empty all over town. Then I got a rush call to report back to M Squad.
Dick just went out. He was all steamed up. And then I called AA.
Well, we'll check all the bars in the neighborhood.
No, Lieutenant, you don't understand.
Well, do you know where he went?
No, I don't know where he went. I mean, well, nothing he said made much sense, except that, well, he said he was going to go out and get the money that was coming to us. Lieutenant, they'll kill him. You know they will.
Take it easy now. How much does he really know?
He knows everything. He knows who they are, where they are. He knows everything that Cy Mitchell knew.
Did he mention any names?
Names? No, I don't think so. I was trying to calm him down, and... Well, he said something about a garage.
A garage? Well, come on, what about a garage?
Well, that's all. I mean, just that he knew where they're... He knew
where their crummy garage was.
Come on, take it easy now and drink your coffee.
Right. Well, what you've told me about this guy sounds like a lot of big talk.
I don't know. When I left him, he was about ready to crack. Just a matter of which way he'd go.
Yeah, but where? There's 7,000 garages in Chicago, and a lot of them are crummy.
Yeah, I know. Let me try a long shot. All right. I phoned Julie Farrow and asked her to meet me in Mitchell's apartment.
I never heard of anyone named Goodrich, and I'm sure I didn't come across the name when I went through this before.
Well, what about garages?
What kind of garages?
Well, I don't know, just garages.
Hey, there was a list of them in this private phone book.
Well, read them off, would you?
All right. Ace High Garage, Bolden Brake Shop, Fleischer's Automotive Service, Kelman's Complete Automotive Service, Ralph's Motordrome, Southside Body...
Hold it a second. Back up one.
Ralph's Motordrome?
What's the address on that?
Oh, 318 Chud Avenue. Why that one?
I don't know. Any more?
Well, it's just Woodhaven Towing and Collision.
He's probably checking out on garages. That would make a good front for a pressing plant.
Why did you go back to that Ralph's whatever it is?
Ralph's. Al Goodrich's brother is named Ralph. We finally got a break. Ralph's Motordrome was leased to Ralph Goodrich.
We're closed.
Open this door, I'll kick it in.
Mr. Piper, come on in.
Where are they? Where are those crummy gougers?
Who are you looking for?
The scum that's stealing my record.
That's pretty harsh language, Mr. Piper.
Yeah, well, that's poetry compared to what I'm going to call them if they don't give me my share of the loot.
Oh, there's an old Dickie bird threatening to sing.
Danny!
When he opens his mouth, I bet he croaks.
All right, take him in the back room. It'd be harder to spot the blood with all the grease on the floor.
lady. I mean it. Danny boy, huh? Over on your face and stay that way. You know, you could have got yourself killed.
Yeah, that thought occurred to me a minute ago. I was about 6 feet off the ground when I came in here.
Yeah, the fact is that you were here.
No, I was bottle courage. I had that beaten out of me. I was sober when I grabbed his arm.
It took guts.
Thanks.
Danny Harrod recovered in time to stand trial along with Grace and Ralph Goodrich. A Chicago jury convicted all three of the murder of Cy Mitchell. Cy was dead, but the vicious racket he'd given his life to stop was dead too. There was still the question of how much of their lost royalties the Pipers would recover. But what they had recovered couldn't be bought at any price.
Time is passing by me, and no one wants to try me. That's why a lady sings the blues.
starring Lee Marvin.